Hi guys, welcome to another new episode of the Fangirl Show. And हर एपिसोड में मैं लाती हूँ नए नए लोग जैसे कि फैंस, कुछ लोग जो हमें फैंस की इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं और सेलिब्रिटीज़ की भी इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं, एंड कुछ दिग्गज लोग हैं जो एक सेलिब्रिटी के लिए बुक लिखते हैं. एंड आज ऐसे ही कोई है मेरे साथ जिन्होंने द किंग खान पे किताब लिखी है. So, not wasting further time, let me introduce you guys to Mohar Basu. Hi Mohar, welcome to the Fangirl Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harshita. I'm really happy to be here. I was wondering what is this term fangirl? And I've always known you as a fangirl.
Okay.
So I'm actually very excited to be here. I wrote an entire book for fans.
Exactly, and I was like, when I started this show and I thought I want to come up with something like that, it had always been in the back of my mind. And when I was kind of doing the guesting, like who am I supposed to interview, I was like, no, I have to call her because we've been following each other on Instagram and your feed is all about your book.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is the right candidate, and you come also from a journalism background. So even I was like, I started my career as a journalist. So I was like, there's a lot of common stuff that we can talk about. So I was like, okay, you have to come.
Let's do this then.
Yes. So yeah, you asked me what is the term fangirl.
Yeah.
So I think Delulu is the Solulu, and with me that particular term has kind of come to reality. So since childhood, I have just been fangirling. Okay, so when I was a kid, I was in love with Abhishek Bachchan. Then it moved because he got married. It got moved to Ranbir Kapoor, then to Arjun Kapoor, then to a lot of new coming people. And off late, I used to kind of like Ori, because I used to find him so cute and so unique that I used to always crack up laughing. So it's kind of changed over the years. I mean, the feeling like with Ranbir, it's like I want to marry him. With Arjun, it's like, oh, he's hot. With Ori, it's like, oh, I want to adopt him. Like the situations have changed, but the liking is there. That kind of a thing. So I have always liked doing it, and I've kind of lost jobs because of it in the past, because how the
it's kind of looked down upon when you're a journalist and a fan together.
Yes. So that happened, and that's where I had decided that this is what keeps me alive. I rather not work, and I know my expertise. I can talk, I can dwell into contacts, I'm good at stalking skills. So I said I might as well do something by myself. So that's where I went to do PR later on, and I've been working by myself only. And so I had to keep the fangirl inside me alive, because that's what keeps me alive. So
Absolutely.
Hence Harshita, the fangirl.
I'm so happy for you. Actually, I have always seen people really look down upon the term fan, which I feel really terrible about. When I started writing this book, I actually met so many people across the world who are happy to be called fans. That's their identity. And they're very happy about it. They're very proud of it. And they're very proud of the person that they love. Because Shah Rukh Khan is someone we've all actually grown up on.
Right.
And I feel that the good parts of Shah Rukh Khan, like his hard work, his passion, his dedication, all of that people really take seriously, and they really 100%. Believe in it. They really believe in it, and it's enriching the life of so many people across the world. It's not just in India.
He's an international icon.
He's an international icon. Like it was very interesting. I remember this one of these ladies. I spoke to Carolyn. She lives in the US, and she's a Firang lady. She's an American, and she said, so she and her best friend met in a line when they were going to watch Paheli. That's the start. That's the basis of their friendship. And she actually learned Hindi. She learned how to eat gulab jamun. She liked some masala chai. She went on a Bollywood cruise. It's just amazing to hear story. Actually, being a fan kind of brings cultures together.
100%. And as you said that the lady, she also met the best friend through a line. I met my best friend through Twitter, because we both used to run fan clubs, and he's like my best friend for last 15 years now.
Imagine.
So we just bond on Bollywood, and we were just talking that how Bollywood is dying, and we're not liking the fact, because if you see the films which are re-releasing now are doing much more better than the ones which are now releasing, because they have that sentimental value, or I don't know what.
We treasure them. I remember going and watching Kal Ho Na Ho, I think.
Yeah, it recently.
So Kal Ho Na Ho, it was houseful. That scene where Shah Rukh Khan is, that last scene with Preeti Zinta where he's gonna die, and he's gonna die. Everyone was crying. So there's a line in my book where one of the fans said that, you know, if it's boring, it's gonna be life. Are people, and this was in context of films like Bazigar and Dar, where people were really critical of the kind of the kind of role Shah Rukh played. They showed the real bad side of a woman's psyche when she's being stalked.
Right.
The horrors of it. And I think the reason why women like Dar is because they finally found an actor who will gamble it all. I think that is the aspect of Shah Rukh Khan that stayed back from Dar.
Even I saw recently Nikhil Advani's interview where he said that if you want to remake Kal Ho Na, he said, I cannot replace Shah Rukh, like he's irreplaceable, and had I given a chance to reshoot something, I would have reshot It's the Time to Disco song. But otherwise, I mean, SRK movies are very heart touching. But one thing, when I saw Jab Harry Met Sejal, I somewhere felt they shouldn't have shown a happy ending. Like it just felt like, oh, ये तो Bollywood है तो end में hero heroine मिल जाते हैं. Like my personal opinion was that. Do you recon Jab Harry Met Sejal?
I actually am one of those few people. In parts, I liked Harry Met Sejal. I did not hate the film.
Even I loved the film. I just felt that ending, happy ending क्यों दिया? Like हो सकता है, like they got separated and stuff like that. So
I know what you mean, and I see the part that you're going for, but I'm okay with the ending of the film. But what I didn't like about the film was that, like, in parts it was very like bizarre. In parts, and in like the Shah Rukh parts of the film are very good.
Yeah.
Like the scene where the song Ghar comes, खाली है जो तेरे बिना मैं वो घर हूँ तेरा. I really like that scene where, you know, she hugs him from behind.
Right.
I think parts of Harry Met Sejal are very nicely done.
Yeah. Even the songs, I love Hawaii. Like it's like my travel
The
go-to
music
song.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe the ending could have been, but you know, we as Indians, and I think actually world over, cinema is meant to give joy to people.
Right.
And especially when you have a superstar on board as the lead, to not have a happy ending is stressful, na? We have a tendency to like happy endings.
That is
We
true.
do.
And that's the reason, it's that, as I said, my first statement, Delulu is Solulu, because, you know, it's like you're in a delusion that, okay, happy ending, ko bhi, you know, umeed pe duniya kaayam hai kind of
Absolutely.
a situation. So everyone is hopeful कि नहीं movie में हुआ ना तो शायद real में होगा. And then people say, oh, you live in a bubble, वो picture है, ये reality है. So now coming back to The King Khan and the book, first tell me, how did your fangirling journey begin? Because to come up with an idea to write a book, there has to be something that is inspiring or something that is love driven to, you know, take such an initiative. So what was it?
I will not take full credit for the ideation part of it. The ideation belongs to my editor at HarperCollins, Bushra Ahmed. She came up with the idea. She and internally, like, they had a team and they envisioned this book.
Okay.
And then they hired me to work on this, for which I'm extremely grateful, because I feel that after the lockdown, we had all gone into a zone. We had all gone into a very dark place inside us, and we were like not able to come to terms with the new world. Like, you know, I remember right after the lockdown, I was working on a story and I had to go to Juhu for it. And I had to just cross the road, and I couldn't. For the longest time, I couldn't cross the road. It was just very difficult for me. It was extremely difficult for me. I think somehow working on this book kind of healed me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And why did it heal me? Because, so, you know, when I was working on this book, I went back in time and I actually spoke to my childhood friends. When you read the book, you'll actually see stories of my mother, my childhood friends who've spoken in the book. It healed me because I think Shah Rukh Khan is a common motif for all of us who've grown up in the 90s.
Right.
Whether we had friendships or not, we always had Shah Rukh Khan. We always went back home and there was a movie that was playing and we'd watch it. So I think that's why it was just a very heartwarming experience. Secondly, there's a very nice line in the book which I realized Attlee had said at a press conference. He said that unless you're a fan of Shah Rukh Khan, you cannot do justice to Shah Rukh Khan.
100%. That's with everyone, and because you get into the depth of it if you're a fan. So yeah.
So when the book first started, it was a very different book. It was a book about, of course, Shah Rukh Khan being at the center of it. It was also a book about the global stardom and how Pathaan had done well and what is it about him. But as we worked on the book widened in its scope. It became about what he means to people across the world, and he means very different things to different people.
100%.
Very different things. Like for some people, he's a kind of a link to their culture. Like I interviewed this lady. She's a producer in South Africa called Parveen Banderkar. She's born and brought up in South Africa. her link to India and to Hindi, which is her mother tongue, is Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh.
Yeah. So they actually have gone back and learnt an entire language which they actually should be knowing. It's technically a mother tongue. But she learnt it like this through movies. And she's such a crazy fan. She's such a crazy fan. Like, one of my favorite stories in the book is when she told me that she went to a local theatre. She had watched Chak De India over there. So she asked, what do you do with the poster, the big poster and the thing that's put in the theatre? What do you do once the film is gone? They're like, we throw it off. She said, don't throw it off, I'll come and take it. So there's a Shah Rukh Khan cutout in her bedroom that she got from a local theatre. I have such fascinating stories. So I think the book also became about the cultural phenomena that Shah Rukh Khan is. People have spoken about, men have spoken about how much they value that enigma of Shah Rukh Khan and the hard work that he puts in, because that's what drives them to go to work every day. So there are very different sorts of stories that have come.
Right.
But the core of all of this goes back to the fact that unless you're a fan of somebody, you cannot do justice to a book like this.
Yes.
So I'm very grateful that I got this opportunity. For a year, I just sat and I watched his interviews and I watched his movies.
Wow.
And I listened to his songs because I constantly had to be in the zone. And I just
Right.
only spoke about him. I went on Twitter, I found other fans. Who found other fans? Who found other fans?
That's exactly is currently happening with me. Yeah.
So it's just amazing how Shah Rukh Khan helped me bond with people I have
Yes.
no idea about. I meet people who I don't know from Adam and form like really strong emotional bonds with. And I'm very, very grateful for this experience. I think the whole experience has changed who I am as a person.
That's amazing. I mean, his contribution has finally like actually come in your life in a very positive way. But having said that, is he like, did you meet him, give him the book? Is he aware of it?
I'm sure he's aware of it, because the other day I saw on Instagram that someone's got the copy signed by him.
Oh,
And
wow.
no, we haven't met him yet. We're obviously figuring out a meeting whenever that happens. But I just want him to know that there are lots of people across the world who love him as much as they do. And the book is just a little celebration of that.
Celebration and like a tribute. So even today, like if I go to bandstand, there will be people even taking selfie with the gate. They feel like, okay, we have attained something. So that kind of stardom, I think after this generation, I don't think anybody possesses that. It's gone. Like, and everyone gets fame these days, but the fame these days is so short-lived. Like back in the days when there was somebody who was famous or a celebrity, it was like throughout, like for a decade. But now it's like 3 months and then you forget. Like even for something like an Indian Idol, like you will always remember Abhijit Sawant, but you won't remember like the 7, 8, 9, 10 who won. So that era was very different. Now Instagram and everything has become like a post gets viral, somebody is famous, and 2-3 months down the line we don't know about that person. So it's very short-lived.
It's very short-lived.
So I feel that this is the last, like what we have, and we are lucky that we are 90s kid, because we could see, like we can see the both of the generations, like how the short-lived fandom is and how the long-term fandom, stardom and all of it is.
I agree. When Shah Rukh Khan says he's the last of the stars, he's right.
Correct.
There's
Very
no one.
true.
And I remember going to Bandra in the lockdown, and I think it was his birthday on 2nd November 2020. This was that year, and it was empty. Like it was rather empty. It looks haunted.
Yeah.
That area looks haunted when people are not buzzing. It really looks like something is wrong with the world.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And seeing empty streets automatically brings you that negative kind of feeling. So.
And I was very happy when I went to watch a Pathaan and a Jawan and a Donkey in the theatre. My heart was full. People were celebrating. There's a scene in Jawan where Shah Rukh Khan comes and he's like, power of your finger. अपनी उंगली का सही इस्तेमाल करो आप. क्या कर रहे हो? And it was just like the euphoria in the theatre at that point of time. You can't imagine. And I want all movies to have these big moments.
Right.
Movies are supposed to be about these epic big moments. And when I say epic, it's not just about the VFX.
Right.
It's not just about, how much money you've spent on a scene or doing how great an action. It's about the emotion you're able to evoke in the samne wala person.
100%.
So when Shah Rukh Khan comes out of the screen and he says, you talk so much before buying a sabun, but you don't even ask questions to people you vote for. What are you doing? It hits home.
Right.
It's beautiful the way that scene's done, and the impact of the scenes even more when you're in a 70mm screen surrounded by people who are cheering, and it's a multiplex in Andheri, and you're like, wow, people have really lost their marbles right now.
Even when the re-releases happened, like people actually stood up and they started dancing. So
I danced. I actually went and danced.
I had gone for this particular screening of Koi Mil Gaya. Sorry, not Koi Mil Gaya, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. And it was a surprise that
Shah Rukh and Rani came for it, yeah.
Oh my god, I started crying because I was like, you know, you've seen it, you've felt it, and suddenly those people, I just could not stop. I was like, ugh.
It's so beautiful, but
Yeah, it is surreal. And they had made like a, you know, basketball net also, and they had made those tiny things, elements from the film outside. So I was like, oh my god, like this is so nice, this is so surreal. So having said that, like you are a journalist also, so you know there has to be some serious stuff to it. So how did you kind of manage being that fangirl and then, you know, also being a journalist?
First things first, I'm primarily a journalist. I call myself that. Because I don't think there's anyone in this world I'm a massive fan of except Shah Rukh Khan. A little bit Diljit Dosanjh, I will not lie. Fawad Khan, Tom Cruise and Hugh Jackman. Like my list is like this small. I am not crazy at all about anybody. I don't have that frenzy. In fact, even for the people I really like, I don't have that, that unreasonable gush. I don't have it. Somehow there's a switch in my mind. And it has always been there. It's not like it's today. It's always been there. Like there's a line in the book where I have actually written about the first time I saw Shah Rukh. And it was at YRF during Fan and he was shooting. And I told myself that I will not interact with him till it's an interview. Of course, I also have my moments when I'm really crazy about somebody, but I never let the identity of a fan come ahead of the identity as a journalist, because that's my primary job, Harshada. More than anything else in the world, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be a journalist. I never wanted to be anything else or anyone else. I wanted to, there was this fire in me where I was like, I'll change the world, I'll do things. So even if you go back and see the kind of stories I do, it's not classic entertainment journalism.
Yes, you have done so much about piracy and other serious issues also you have taken up, yes.
Yeah, and that is primarily my beat. While working on this book, I actually had to tone down that news person and kind of build up the fan inside me, because the writing was getting affected. Right. So when I wrote the first chapter, which was the first chapter of the book where I'm talking about Jawan and how Shah Rukh brought back people to the theatres and this hooray around him in 2023, that was fine. But after some time, because the mind is trained to be critical, the writing was getting compromised. And my editor told me that, Mohar, you have to remember the tone of your book. You are not Mohar Basu the journalist, you're Mohar Basu the author here. So you have to remember and be loyal to the subject that you're writing about. And I actually really I would switch off, I would do my daily work and then I would switch off. I would watch either an interview or a movie of Shah Rukh Khan, and then I would start writing. Because I needed that switch off and switch on again and again, because I was working simultaneously while I was writing this, and I just knew that I had to keep that fan inside me alive while I'm writing the book.
Then only you could emote.
Because the writing of this book cannot be critical. It is supposed to be reverential. Because what are we talking about? It's a fan book. It's a story of Shah Rukh Khan told from the eyes of his fans, why he is loved as much by people across the world.
Right. Talking about midday doing serious stuff, so I'll tell you one incident that happened with me. I was very popular as a fangirl, I think for more than a decade, and that's what my identity is, and I'm okay with it. So there were these kids, who had just got inspired by me that a fan club chalana hai, so you get to meet the star, because that was their psyche, that if maybe fan club banaungi, then I'll also get to meet the celebrity. So there were these 13-14-year-olds. They made a fan club for Siddharth Malhotra. He had just newly launched Kid, and Student of the Year was about to release or released. I don't kind of recon that. So they made, and they were so fab with their work, because as the generation comes, they're so good with editing and photos and videos. So when I started, I was also good at it, but then things started adding. I could not cope up with so much of edits and stuff. So these guys were so good that I think the higher team also, like, you know, could not cope up with the kind of creatives and all they made. So they kind of DM'd that page, you know, saying that please give us the admin rights, and you know, we would like give you an amount or something like that. So obviously these kids told me like, Didi, we've got this mail, and you know, should we just give? And we were not even knowing if it's genuine, not genuine, and they could just. So I said no need. And in that, you know, because I had made a similar website for Arjun, so I said that merchandise and all I had put, but we were not like selling. We're just like, you know, how cool Arjun Kapoor. So even Siddharth Malhotra merchandise was put. So apparently there was a legal case that went to them that you're making money out of Siddharth Malhotra's name and all, and these guys had not sold anything, and they were minor. And then we got to know it was somebody from his team, digital team, that they did. So I was like telling this fangirling experience. I had a journalist friend from Midday at that point of time, and it was a front page story in Midday, and quotes went, and after that these kids were like so scared and all. I said, don't get it. But you know, even with fan clubs right now, like the issue that I'm facing when I was reaching out to a lot of people, they were like, we don't want to reveal our identity and you know, all of that, and which felt like, you know, they were like, now they're like more of like hired fans, like, you know, like Arjun, Ranbir and all. I have been very vocal about. As an actress, I love Kareena since childhood. But somewhere, you know, her aura or the videos that I see, they come across as a little snobbish. I don't know how.
Kareena is the most accessible person in the sense that she's herself. You know, the problem with our world is that we don't value people who are being themselves, and we expect too much from the stars around us. Like today while I was coming, I was seeing the videos of Kareena being clicked outside the Leelavati hospital, and Kareena yesterday actually put up a post and she deleted it.
Yeah.
I think the way we harass our celebrities, it's a different level of harassment. We need to stop. We are you know, the way we chase them, we are actually breaching their privacy. And Kareena is one of the chillest people you'll meet. She is very cool, and she's she's very calm se calm. You will go meet her, she'll chill with you, she'll go back to her world. She's not someone who will you know, like I've always met her as a journalist, and I've always enjoyed talking to her because I think she's very honest.
Anyone from the industry who reached out to you after reading it and, you know, kind of said that, oh, I read it?
So, you know, we actually did an event in Calcutta with Shujit Sarkar, and Shujit Da wanted to read the book.
I've seen the picture.
Yeah, yes. So he wanted to read the book, and he actually read it, and you know, very different things are sticking with very different people. So I realized Shujit Da liked the earlier parts of Shah Rukh's book more, where he's talking about his father, his mother. I think those are the parts that stayed with him, and which is very unusual because, you know, we always see the superstar. So I think he told me he really enjoyed those parts. And I was very grateful, you know. I think anyone, first of all, I think everyone's gotten out of the habit of reading. But anyone who's read, primary feedback has always been good, that, okay, you made me go back to simpler, sweeter times. And that's exactly what we were trying to do. We were not trying to write something path-breaking. We were trying to write a book that makes you feel good in your heart. And I don't think enough books are written like that.
Right. So you said that, you know, Shujit Sarkar liked the book and especially the initial pages. Apart from that, anyone from the industry? Because I've seen Aditya Roy Kapoor also with the book.
So I only went and gave the book to Aditya because I want people from the industry to have this book. Aditya, and I remember I asked him, I said, are you a Shah Rukh fan? And he was like, who isn't?
True,
he
right?
Is
inspiring, and in different ways everyone loves him.
Yeah.
When it comes to the book, anyone else that you met from his family during the nobody?
No one.
Okay.
No one.
Just
because
the
book. Yeah, because the book is supposed to be the story of his life from the eyes of his fans.
Right.
It was always supposed to be a fan book. The aspects of Shah Rukh Khan that kind of make fans latch onto him.
Right. So tell me your first fangirl moment, like the first time you met Shah Rukh Khan, of course as a journalist, but the first time, like how was it? Was it typically like the OSO moment that you had?
No, I didn't.
No?
Like I said, I don't have that.
Which happened?
That's which happens.
Like
I think it was during Happy New Year. And it was in his trailer. I remember I did his interviews. Yeah, it was in his trailer and I did his interview, and it was a great interview. But the one that I remember is the Dear Zindagi one, which was also in his trailer at Mehboob studio. And I remember it was a very, very funny interview. But that switch happens very quickly within me.
Yeah, like that would happen with me, but I never got a chance, and I honestly wanted to be a journalist because I saw Wake Up Sid, and I'm like, मैं भी कोंकणा सेन के जैसे जाऊंगी, like Aisha, and I'll find my Sid and stuff like that. So yeah, but later on, you know, I have this very funny story. So I started as journalism, and they put me as an intern, you know, because that's how it starts. And there was this girl who was not interested in Bollywood, nothing, absolutely no knowledge. She did not know anything, and they were so scared to send me like, "Ye kuch karegi na?" I'm like, dude, I can't. I'm not somebody who's gonna take selfie with everyone. I have my own special people, and I'm not gonna bump into them either. Anything can happen. So obviously, with the whole digitalization, they have to be careful, like who they are opening up, or you know. So that happened, and I was just irritated, and I think Rockstar shoot was happening, and I had met Ranbir, and I'm like, I don't know, they don't take me seriously because I love you, and you know, all of that. And he said, "Hey, don't worry, chill, ho jayega." So the day he came for Rockstar interview in my office, and so he's telling the editor, "I'll only give if she's taking my interview."
Oh,
and
how
so the editor is
sweet.
like, "Oh, okay." And then, you know, I mean, obviously, I there was this Walkman, you know, that point of we used to record, and obviously they all, but that was the first time like my name went in the magazine. I was removed as an intern and put as a full-time person and all of it. And then I thanked him. He's like, "Now think, if you want to continue, you can, or you can leave." And I'm like, oh, this is like sass me, you know, like, so yeah, so I have had these kind of like manifestation moments, and I feel Arjun and Ranbir both as actors are the most misunderstood people, I feel.
Promotions in the post-COVID era has become very different. They do not do standard interviews anymore, if you realize.
It's all podcast driven and all of it, yeah.
The interaction with celebrities has really become low, which is something I think we'll all have to come on board with.
Yeah, because you know what used to happen initially when in my fangirling days, they used to have like fan meet and greets and all of it. Suddenly after 2015, I noticed they stopped it, and then they used to have these influencers meet, and these content creators came and made you know, songs, danced on the hook steps, and I used to be like, why? Because you know, they are getting their share of views, they are getting to meet the celebrity, and either fan look like, you know, we are struggling. So I had got really irritated with this whole TikTok and all of these getting to meet and making content with them and all. But I think now again it's slowly going back to the fan culture, because I see a lot of these places like Galanta India and all of us,
They do
like,
fan fest, yeah.
so I'm happy that, you know, slowly even Too Filmy, I think Rohini also does something you know, similar. So I'm happy because I saw the Hrithik Roshan birthday and everything, that slowly it's coming, but I still want like the old fan culture coming in, because
Back. The fan culture will not go anywhere. We live in India. It is a country of fans. Films actually work because fans go to watch it.
Right.
Last year, the films that have done well, including Stree and Pushpa, is because they have a fan base. Otherwise, those films would have not done well.
100%.
So that will not change. Having said that, I do agree that, you know, with the pap culture will eventually, I won't say it won't die, but it will become different.
Yeah, let's get to know you a little and your inclination towards this, and let's do like a quick rapid fire inspired by KWK. But you tell me, what is your favorite Shah Rukh Khan dialogue?
Dialogue. It's the one that's the dedication of the book. It's the Om Shanti Om dialogue. अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात.
Manifestation.
Yeah, it's the manifestation one.
SRK as Raj or Rahul?
I actually prefer Rahul, but I think my favorite SRK character is Kabir Khan from Chak De.
Which co-star you like with Shah Rukh?
Kajol. It's a no-brainer.
Oh my
Always
God.
Kajol. Maratha Mandir DDLJ with popcorn is a thing.
True. What 3 words that describe Shah Rukh Khan according to you?
Hard work, determination and passion.
Best villain SRK role, Dar, Bazigar or Don?
Dar.
दिल वाले दुल्हनिया ले जाएंगे और कुछ कुछ होता है.
DDLJ.
You are on a road trip with 3 Bollywood celebs. Who would they be?
Very interesting. I don't know if it counts as Bollywood, but Shah Rukh Khan, Fawad Khan and Diljit Dosanjh.
If you could live any SRK film, which would it be?
I think K3G.
If you would get an opportunity to write a script for SRK, would it have, what kind of an ending would you have?
Oh no, I'm a very wacky the person that I am as a author and as a journalist, I'm a very different person when I'm writing fiction. I will write a very wacky, dark script. You know, we were earlier discussing about Fan, and you said you didn't think much of the film, and I was like, no, I actually really like Fan. I think I'll write something like that for him. I really think Fan is one of his underrated movies. Because in Indian films, our superstars are supposed to be these gods.
Iconic, yeah.
Iconic gods. I don't like that. Make them fail, make them be horrible, make them bad people, and make them like, you know, like devilish. It's interesting to watch that. You know, I would love to watch Shah Rukh Khan as the villain. I think he would kill it. No one does. You know, I was watching Dawn the other day, and I was like, wow, he's so cruel, but I love it.
You know, honestly, if you pick up any film, the villain is always hotter than the hero. I personally feel.
I remember I once had this chat with Saif, and Saif is like, no, you know, it's very hard on the soul when you're being the bad guy, and it's very difficult for an actor when they're doing it. But it's obviously the more fun part to do. Like if you go back and watch Saif being villain, oh my God, Saif does villain so well. But I do think Shah Rukh Khan needs to be a bad guy in a movie. I would pay a lot of money to watch that.
Okay, let's say that you and Shah Rukh are in a movie together. What kind of character would you want him to play, and what would the plot be?
Something with Dear Zindagi maybe.
Okay.
That would really heal all of us. Imagine being, you know, Kyra's character, Kyra I think her name is. Imagine being that person. It would heal. Chatting with him would heal us. We would be fine.
Yeah. Everyone knows SRK's iconic romantic gestures. What is the most romantic thing you have ever done or would do in true SRK style?
I don't know whether I'm a very romantic person, but I am a big believer of love letters.
Oh my God, I love handwritten notes, and I'm a big
believer of love letters. And I have written my partner a very beautiful love letter once for his birthday. So I think that's my most romantic gesture.
One of SRK's films that you would visualize yourself to be an actress.
I never want to be an actress, Harshita.
Just like for the fun of it.
Maybe Fir Bhi Dil Hai Hindustani, because they both played journalists, and I really liked that film. I thought it was very cool.
Okay, now that you've come on the Fangirl show and all of it, you tell me your views about about this interview, about the show, like being a part of it.
Well, you have been very patient with me. I have cuffed through this show. Thank you so much, Harshita.
Lastly, if Shah Rukh is seeing this podcast, what would you like to tell him?
I don't think he's seeing this podcast because, I don't think he has the time, first of all.
Just, you never know, a reel gets viral.
If he stumbles across this podcast, I want him to know that he's one of the most loved people in this world. And regardless of what movies he gives us, what career he goes on to have here on, and the same career, I think people love Shah Rukh Khan the person and not the star.
True. Anyways, thank you. It was a lovely chat with you.
Thank you so much for calling me. Hi, my name is Mohar Basu, and you're gonna watch me on the Fangirl show with Harshita. Like, share and subscribe this video when you stumble upon it. Thank you.
Hi guys, this is Harshita, your OG fangirl, and you're watching me on the Fangirl show. Please follow, show us some support, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye.